Hey there, hola, ¿cómo estás, friends and amigos, compañeros del mundo? Happy Father's Day, first of all, to my friends and family from all over the world. It's Father's Day. My son decided to spend the weekend with me. Brought some gifts for the old man from him and the sister. And I want to show my appreciation. First of all, I want to say thank you very much, son. And I love you very much.
Me too.
My son is in his early 20s now. He's a big boy, much bigger than I am. I wish I could be his height and weight. But, you know, I'm not. And it's all good. I'm actually glad he's bigger than I am. Anyway, today, I'm going to answer a question one of my subscribers asked me, right? I saw on my questions today that one of my subscribers want me to do a video on single mothers raising. I'm not going to use his words, but he said do a video for me on single mothers raising femme thugs as men. This is the word he actually used, homo thugs. But I'm not. Well, I already said it anyway. It don't matter.
Just restart the tape.
No, I don't need to restart it.
Yes, you do.
I don't need to.
Yes, you do.
It's fine. Listen, so this is what I'm gonna give my take on. Should I put the AC on a little bit? Because you know it might
Restart
be
the video.
No.
Restart the
No,
video,
I'm
man.
not gonna restart. I'm just gonna let it be. I'm just gonna let it be, son. Anyway, so he want me to do a video on single mothers raising men, raising boys, and the boys turning out to be pretty much femboys, right? He asked me what do I think about that. So my take on this is that well, first of all, not all young men that are raised by single women become femboys, or in his word, you know what he said. Not all young men that are raised by single mothers become that way, right? But it is also true that a lot of our young men who are raised by single mothers tend to have feminine ways, if that makes sense. Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. So, why do you think this is? It brings me to one question, right? Why do you think there are more men leaders in the world than women? This is it's a simple question for you. If you can answer, give me something. If you cannot answer, just say you don't know and I'll move on.
Can you repeat that question?
Why are there more men leaders, men presidents than women leaders or presidents in the world?
They don't see a woman in a higher power position. That's what I see.
Great take. My answer is that
They don't want. They just don't want to see one. That's about it.
great what you just said. You see, women are emotional beings. Okay? Most civilized nations knows that it's better to have a man as a leader than a woman. And now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with women leading, right? But there are things in which women could be leaders, right? It's the same as raising a child, right? This young man's question: when a woman is raising a child by herself, especially boy, right? Look, I'm all for a woman raising a daughter, because as a man, I have no clue what to do with a daughter after a certain age, right? Imagine your sister, right? If it wasn't for your mom, I mean, I don't know jack about raising a daughter, but when it comes to raising a son, I firmly believe a woman needs a man to help raise a boy to be a man, right? Now we live in this Western world where a lot of women are doing this. Do you want me to buy you some breakfast before we go?
It is 1 o'clock. It is not breakfast.
I mean lunch. You want to get some lunch before we go?
Let's just go.
Okay. Anyway, so I firmly believe a man should be raising his son, right? Now, you know, in this world, a woman, listen to what I'm about to say here very carefully. A woman is one emotional breakdown away from causing havoc in a child or a man's life. Do you know that? Do you agree? Don't shake your head. Let it out. Do you agree or you disagree?
I agree.
You agree. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is that let me give you an example. Like in this Western world that we live in, right? Especially countries that are superpowers. Now, the last time I remember a country that was a superpower that had a woman president, the woman the woman took the country to war over some unnecessary bull crap. England, when I was a kid, had this woman, I don't know, it was a prime minister or whatever they call it out there, right? It was a woman, Margaret Thatcher. That's the name of the woman, Margaret Thatcher or whatever. And this woman took England to war with Argentina over some islands, some tiny little islands that don't even belong to England. Okay? You listening to what I'm saying? This is why men with common sense will agree with me saying that women, as much as we need women in this world for almost everything, being leaders and also raising men should not be a job for women. Now, some people may probably come for me for what I'm saying here, but why do you think? No, first, before I even ask you that question, the last election, right, between Trump and what was the lady's name?
Kamala Harris.
Good. Who did you vote for? Because I know you voted for the first time in your life. Who did you vote for?
I voted for Kamala.
You voted for Kamala. Awesome.
And that's not the first time I voted.
That's not the first time? Okay, so that you voted for Biden too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, my son is a Democrat. It's all good. The question is, why do you think Hillary Clinton lost to Trump?
Like I said before.
Wait. And why do you think, what was the lady name again?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Why do you think she lost to Trump?
Like I said before, they don't want to see a woman in power.
They don't want to see a woman in power. And you know the men and some few women that don't want to see a woman in power? Do you know who those people are? Republicans? No, not necessarily. You're looking at one of them. I am one of them. Because men with common sense knows that it is no place for a woman to have access to nuclear codes. Just one malfunction away could turn to World War III if the woman is the president of the United States of America. My name is Yao Fosu and I'm saying that. Okay? Women are useful in so many ways. Listen, over the period of history, men have gone to wars, have fought wars over women. Let me ask you a question. What is the meaning of the word booty? But that's what you think. So, well, of course, you're a young black man. The word booty means butt to you, but that's not what it really means. It means the spoils of war.
The what?
The spoils or the rewards of war. Okay?
The rewards
of war. When tribes, back in the days before there were nations, there were tribes of human beings. And let's say you have a tribe, right? And you have a bunch of women. And my tribe, the population of women is very little. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to come after your tribe. I'm going to declare war on you so I can defeat you and take your women. That's what booty means. Booty is the spoils of war. You didn't know that. I'm letting you know that now. Okay? Now, when a woman raises a young man by herself, you know, the ones that are, the ones, especially in this country, that says, I'm an independent woman and I don't need no man, this and that. When they raise a boy, when you get to a certain age, you can look at a young man, right, and tell this young man was raised by a single woman. I'm gonna give you some reasons how you can spot these young men, okay? They have feminine traits. Now, I'm talking about a man. He could be as muscular as ever. He could be 6'10",
right,
but he will still have feminine traits. What are some of the feminine traits I'm talking about, son? Right? The first one I can think about is being a consumer. You know what that means? Being materialistic. When you see a young man that gotta have 10 pair of Air Jordans in different colors, and he won't give a crap. He will wear black and yellow Air Force Ones to prove something, to match whatever clothes he's wearing. You know, the young man that cannot be caught wearing the same sneakers twice in 1 week. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You see them out there.
Yes.
That's the feminine trait. Okay? Because a young man that's so focused on his appearance and how many times he changes his clothes and sneakers and this and that in a week, believe it or not, it's a feminine trait. Okay? When you're raised by a woman, this is some of the things you will do. A young man that's raised by a female without a man's presence spends money more than he saves. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A young man that's raised by a woman without a man's presence, right? Can be an emotional wreck. What do I mean? What do I mean by an emotional wreck?
They can't control their feelings.
They can't control besides their feelings. Do you remember when you was a kid? If I'm not in your life, right? If you go to school and another kid hits you, right? What would your mother tell you?
Well,
No, think about it very carefully. If I'm not in your life, if I wasn't in your life, and you go to school and another kid hits you, and you come home and you tell your mother, what would your mother tell you?
Fight back.
Hit back, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what a woman will tell her son. If any kid hits you, you hit them back. You do this, you do that, right? That's not what a kid with a man in the family will do. The father will know what to say to the kid. And even if the father have to go to the school to make sure that don't happen again, the father will do that. But if there is no father around, I've seen some mothers that will tell their kid, if somebody hits you, you take a brick and hit them in the head. Okay? So now this kid will grow up to be what? To be violent. Okay? Children, young men that are mostly raised by women are more likely to, that's parking right there, right? Moving up. It's more likely to do prison time over some unnecessary violence because why? Because they couldn't control
The emotions.
emotions. Exactly. Right? What's another way a young man that's raised without a father, another way you can spot a young man that's raised without a father in his life? Can you guess?
Their actions and behavior.
Actions and behavior, yes. That's part of the emotions, right? How about problem-solving skills? A young man that's raised without a man in his life solves problems like a woman. This is Father's Day. I'm trying my best to give you a little bit of knowledge. I'm not the smartest man in the world, my son. But the little bit that I know, I want to really share it with you. let me sit down and finish this video before we get out, okay? Problem solving skills. A young man without a man in his life solves problems like a woman. Okay?
Right.
These are the guys that are quick to fight first or shoot first before they think. Because they don't have something that's called what? Discipline.
Or survival skills.
Or survival skills. You see the way I raise you to always be patient, stand your ground, don't be the aggressor first?
Mm-hmm.
A child, a young man without a father don't have these skills. You understand?
You know, it's funny you say that because I think one time somebody tried to pick a fight with me in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally minding my business. I didn't even know who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had my headphones on too. So I guess they were trying to taunt me or something.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even hear what they said. So it's just they would suck off my headphones and said, "Do I know you?"
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "What? Yo," like literally,
Yeah.
like literally saying, "Yo, say it to my face, bro. Say it to my face." I'm like, what?
People that pick
I
fights.
I looked at him like he's fucking stupid because he is.
Exactly. That's a young man raised without any guidance of a man. Okay? The third one I could tell you is the ones that grow up to be men that lives for the approval of women. Do you understand that? You're laughing, but it's the truth. Yeah. What does it mean to live for the approval of a woman?
Oh, man.
If a woman doesn't agree with what he's doing, he don't know what he's doing. Okay? Now I'm talking about there are some grown men older than I am will work his ass to death, buy a house, and the house will be painted purple or yellow. Why? Because as hard as he has worked in his life, the approval of the woman is the most important thing in his life. Okay? These are the guys that these are the guys that I work with, some of them that will have the nerve to ask me, "Yo, bro, so how do you do it? How do you manage to travel twice in a year?" And he's driving a Mercedes Benz. His car payment alone will not give him the time or the money to save something to enjoy life.
Right.
Because the approval of a woman to say, "Oh, this guy drive the nicest car," or "he got the nicest clothes," or this and that, means more to him than anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good. Right, listen. As you're becoming a man now, I'm in my early 50s now. You in your early 20s now. Early 50s means the beginning of getting old. Okay? Early 20s means you just began life as a man.
Yeah.
Okay? Listen, women are very important in our lives, but don't let any woman, don't live to seek the approval of any woman in this world.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Time will come. I hope you don't do it as bad as I did. You may go through some women, but be careful. Never I'm going to tell you this. Never, ever promise any woman something like marriage just to get the booty, like you said. What you think? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right? Because there are spiritual consequences when a man lies to a woman and get what he wants from her. Remember, some women, not just some women, mostly women are spiritually a lot stronger than men. We as men, we are physically and mentally stronger than women. But spiritually, a woman will whoop your ass and drag you on the floor. Take what I'm saying to you very seriously. Okay? Most of the men that I looked up to from my old man, I'm talking about my father, to my uncles, that thought what makes you a man is how much booty you can get. Look, the apple don't fall far from the tree. I did my thing when I was a young man, in my 20s and 30s. When I hit 40, I woke up and I cut all that out. I'm not going to stop you from becoming a man because you have to have your life experiences or whatever. But always be careful with women. Okay? If you ever become a father to any child, just like I did with your mother, for you and your sister, no matter what comes, I don't wish anything negative in your future, but if it ever comes to a point that you and a woman cannot stay together, no matter what, never abandon the children, just like I didn't do to you guys. No matter what, you must stay. Because if you're not there for the child will go through shit. And that's your blood. You understand what I'm saying? One thing I want you to promise me, no, even before I ask you that, right, is I want to ask you a question. As your father, this is a multiple choice answer. I want you to grade me. I don't want you to give me an A. I don't want you to be untrue. Don't give me an A. But I want you to grade me as a father. Was I an A, B, C, D, or E?
B.
To you guys?
B.
B? Are you sure about that?
B.
Well, thank you very much. I accept that gracefully. Before I end this video, I want you to know something. No matter what you do in life, I'm behind you. You understand what I'm saying? And this is real. This is coming from my heart. I will support you no matter what you do in life. Though there's one thing. There's one thing I will never support you if you do. And that is, as you becoming a man, son, I never ever want to see you become or play somebody's stepfather.
Why would I even do that?
Good.
That's like the one thing I don't even want to.
Good. Because I swear to you, I have been good to you all my life. But if I was to find out you playing stepdaddy to somebody's child, I will fuck you up myself. And that's real. I'm keeping it 100% with you. You understand?
I feel you.
Even if I'm 80 years old in a wheelchair, I'll make sure I get one of those power wheelchairs and I will fucking run you over with it to prove my point. You could be anything you want to be in this world. But stepfather, never do that. All right?
Yeah.
I'm going to end this video. Thank you for what you did for me for this Father's Day. I appreciate it. God bless. And take care. This is Yao Fosu. Listen, it takes a man to raise a boy. I mean no harm to any single mothers out there. I'm just speaking from my heart. It takes a man to raise a boy. God bless. Take care. And cheers. You want to say bye? Peace.